So we've got Hearty Chats with Dylan Soh and Ava Soh, two awesome siblings, and just waiting for a few people to come in.
Yeah, supposed siblings that we've seen no evidence, right?
And legal documents.
Legal documents on it. Okay, we shall find out. Okay, so just wait a while more. Okay, I think you've got a comment coming in, so just let me. I don't know if your Auntie Jack's gonna join us.
Auntie Jack.
Auntie Jack. She is! Hey, Jackie! She said hi. Hi, kids. I think they're not so kids anymore. They're young adults or soon. Okay, cool. The Face ID unlocks our giveaway. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So if you're joining us, oops, let me just close this. Okay. So today we've got the Dylan Soh and Ava Soh. I was going to say awesome siblings, but they say otherwise. Okay, so we're going to talk about how Dylan and Ava's parents' listening ear brought their dreams to reality. These are two very, very awesome youths. They are speakers, they are Kickstarters, they are founding members of One Kind House, which is this really awesome urban farming home where technology and tradition meet. So go Google One Kind House, like their page if you haven't found it. It's really amazing, like very, very interesting. So with these two, why I find it very interesting to talk to them is because while other kids are very focused on, PSLE, O levels, these two are already ahead in their life. They're already going places. And so I think it'd be so interesting to hear from them what their parents did differently. And how the parents have helped them bring their passion into reality and how they can make such an impact at such a young age. So let me introduce them before we start asking them questions. Hi, Ben. Hi, Telly. So Dylan, you're 17 years old this year, right?
Yes, going to be 18.
Going to be 18, 17 going on 18. And you gave your first TED talk on urban farming when you were 10. That's really awesome. At 11, you co-wrote a book and you illustrated it as well. That's called The Big Red Dot. I know. Oh, I have a copy of it somewhere in my home. I should have brought it along. And at 13, you created the DIY stick. And you got that off the ground through Kickstarter. And now it's actually a kind of a business for you. You're actually running that as a business. Really awesome. Yeah. And Ava, you're 13 this year. And you are a national figure skater, a specs-carded Singapore athlete. And you started fashion designing at age 10. And I actually have one of your pieces, I should probably put it on and today, but I didn't have time. But yeah, I love it. I still use it. And also recently you successfully launched a Kickstarter project for DoTR, which stands for Daughters of the Revolution. Am I right? Yeah, and that's called the Sinta Dairy Collection, which basically encourages women to love themselves. Yay, very, very nice. I love the whole theme behind it. So with all your accolades and achievements, I really would like you to share with us what has been your inspiration and motivation.
Well, for each of our projects, we had our own passions and drives, right?
Yeah.
So for you, what was it?
For me, my current collection is like a bit of a combination of my two passions, which is fashion design, and then also I'm very interested in gender equality. So it kind of first started out when I was 6, and I remember I was on the ECP on the way home.
Yeah.
And then mom and dad were talking about like current events, and they were talking about, I think the one like topic that triggered me was some women around the world can't dress the way they want to, and it's up to the men to like the husband to tell them what to wear.
You can't walk behind your husband.
You mean you have to walk behind?
Oh yeah, you have to walk behind your husband.
Yeah, sure. And that was like really set me off. I was like, that's not right? So I was mom and dad, like, why is it this way? And they were like, well, I mean, society has made it this way, and in the real world, men and women aren't equal. And that was really strange to me because Dylan and I were raised in a very equal household. So so then I told my dad, like, I want to become prime minister. So he asked, like, why do you want to become prime minister? Then he's like, so that I can make a law that says no more stupid men. Yeah.
How old were you then?
Like, I was 6.
Six.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That goes a long way.
Wow, we are on low battery right now. Better run.
Okay, Dylan shall go get the battery pack.
Okay. And then let me think. My fashion sort of journey started when I was watching my grandmother sew tiny clothes for my dolls.
Mm.
She would I would sit at the side and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool, right? Like, and then she would teach me like embroidery. She would teach me embroidery and simple sewing skills. Then from there, when I was about 6, we went to New York. Was it 6?
Yeah.
Was I 6?
No, you were older.
Was I 8?
Yeah.
8. Yeah. I did a small like capsule collection and
Moods.
because I was obsessed with Fashion Runway. Is that what it's called? Project Runway. That's it. Project
Runway.
I really wanted to go to Mood, so I did like a small capsule collection. It wasn't finished, but it was still like an eye-opening sort of experience. Then I did One Kind Pants at One Kind House, which like started out as sort of it started out as like everyone kept asking me to do like a uniform.
Yeah.
Right, so you could be spotted in the garden or cooking the chicken, and I thought because I also trained in Thailand, so I took like the Thai fisherman pants and I sort of did a twist with denim and mix and match fabrics, and people started liking it, so I started selling it, and then that kind of brought me to where I was today. So what really drives me is the fact that I know that like if you see Greta Thunberg, they're all very young figures, but they make such a big change in the world, and I believe like, I want to do that too. I want to have a voice and I want to speak out against things that I feel aren't right.
Yeah.
Lovely. Never too young to speak up.
I think on my side, it was a bit more to do with being sustainable. Right, 60% of the world lives in cities, and we all say we have food security. But the virus has shown that Singapore imports what's the percentage? It's not in my head right now.
It's a high percentage.
It's a high percentage of food imported from other countries. So, and now the virus has shown that food security is food insecurity. Right now, you go to cold storage or any of your grocery stores, and your vegetables that you normally eat aren't there. So that was the whole mindset behind making cities fertile, and that was my vision even when doing the GIY stick in 2016. Right? The growth of which is we have one over here.
Yay! Awesome.
Basically, this you recycle the bottle. And you have to put a cloth inside, and basically you just put it in your pot, and it automatically waters your plant.
Very good.
Right?
And that is like doesn't breed mosquito as well, right? Because everything is sealed.
Yeah, everything is sealed. So no matter your plant decide how much water it needs. Right, perfect. But and that was to make cities fertile by making apartments fertile. But that was assuming people were used to the idea of urban farming and wanted to farm in the first place. So then, following that vision of making cities fertile, we did some prototyping. Then we came up with the One Kind block, which is my current Kickstarter project. It hopefully will make cities fertile.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I think your passion, your interest in urban farming has been since you were very, very young, because I remember visiting you once. You probably don't remember, but I was looking at all the plants that you had in your home, and your dad was like, oh yeah, my son will explain to you about all these things, and you were bringing me around little cherries and all that. So I think you must have been, I don't know, 8 or something. I don't know. Very, very young. That was when your Auntie Jack was having her wedding or something on your rooftop. So I
Oh,
still remember that, like really long time ago.
That was on our rooftop garden before we started One Kind House.
Yes, yes. That was really awesome. Wow. Okay, great. So Dylan, I heard that when you were 6, you famously said to your father, "Dad, don't always say no to me. Let me live a little." So I feel like your dad really took your words quite seriously with what your achievements are today. So tell me a little bit more, like what growing up was like. What do you think your parents did differently that really helped you bring your passion to action and reality?
Hmm.
it's quite complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll speak for both of us.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we are siblings, supposedly. Probably.
I
Uh,
supposedly.
but my dad, he's in marketing.
Mm.
And at one point in his career, before he quit his job, he was at a position where he could see where businesses were going. Okay, and he has this thing called uh, that we hear so many times, exponential change, which is
Mm-hmm.
powered by Moore's law, right? Which is the doubling of computing power every 18 months. Okay, and because of that, that will accelerate technology, that will disrupt businesses, and as we've seen, will disrupt industries as well. So slowly, more and more jobs and industries will go obsolete. So his philosophy is that if those what you call hard skills are going to be replaced by machines, which is logical, then you need to raise your kids on the soft skills, right? Which is empathy, creativity, imagination, resilience, adaptability, the ability to question, to ask why and why not. All those are very important soft skills that the education system we have generally around the world isn't preparing us for.
Mm.
Um, of course, that is because it's tailored around the industrial age. There's nothing you can do about that. Um, and he's let us work around the system. You could say we're smart enough to pass. At least you are, not me. But pass exams so we don't stay back in school and we get to do these projects and sort of harness those soft skills. One Kind House was also a culmination of that because that was a place, uh, besides being a active elder aging retirement place for my grandmother, also a place for us to explore these soft skills, come up with our projects. Right, we've worked on them in One Kind House, and that's his whole philosophy, and that's why the
Mm.
family has headed in this direction that we have,
Mm. Wow.
exponential change.
Yes, and definitely your dad has done, a very good thing, because you guys are speaking beyond your age, with all these things you're talking about. And definitely, I think the soft skills are going to serve you, in the long, long future, not just now. And one thing you said about the One Kind House, I love it that you have got like 3 generations all together, and impacting the world, impacting our nation, just by all these small little things that you're doing. So that's really amazing. Got a question from One Pin. Says, do both of you attend mainstream schools or you're homeschooled? Can I
Home,
answer her?
I might as well be homeschooled because I don't go to school. But uh, you are
If
in.
dad finds this,
He will find this, but he doesn't care. Our dad is like okay with
okay,
the
let's
vision,
get
but
back to
he's
the topic.
okay.
We both go to international school. So Dylan's school is in Finland.
Yeah.
He goes to
Mm.
international school in Finland. My school is St. Joseph Institution International in Singapore.
Mm.
I think in an international school, you definitely feel like the pressure and stress sort of taken off you.
Mm.
Of exams in general.
Yeah,
Mm.
You because it's an international school in Singapore. Me because the culture in Finland is so different.
Ah.
But it's not like we haven't gone through the local system. I finished 10 years and my O levels here before I went.
Mm.
You did?
I did up to PS.
Yeah, you did your PSLE, right? Yeah, okay. And in international school, great. I mean, it gives you, whatever education path you choose, it's as long as it's aligned with your learning style And I'm sure, being in SJI and international and also in Finland, it absolutely serves and aligns with your style of learning. I also understand that you did like internship in Finland as well, Dylan. So
Yes, it's
that's
how I
really
got
great.
to the school I am now.
Wow. So would you say, since we're on this topic, maybe what's one difference between the educational system in Finland as compared to our Singapore local system?
Ayo. Uh,
Sorry, I didn't ask you.
It's quite a few. I don't like to compare because each system has come about because of the different cultures in learning, the cultures in people. But if I had to pick one, I think Finland gives you a lot more responsibility.
Mm.
Okay, so for example, the teachers all have master's degrees, and they have a rough skeleton of a syllabus, but how they teach it and how they teach it according to the students is up to them. Okay, so the teachers get a lot of responsibility, and because of that, the PISA scores in Singapore and Finland 5 years ago were similar, so they were good. And in terms of the students get a lot of responsibility when they learn, right? So it's the responsibility of the teachers to make sure you do well in exams. That's up to you, right? Whether you pay attention or not, or you study at home, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I hope that one day I can study in Finland.
Yeah.
Because I love the culture, and like the women that are brought up there are brought equal to men. Yeah. And that's like is it Scandinavia?
Yeah, Scandinavian countries. Yeah, the women are very independent.
Yeah.
Finland, yeah.
They're more equal.
Yeah, and also if I could skate in Finland on just frozen ice, that would be much like eco-friendly than the rings here.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
That might be possible because the second Singaporean to go up there after their O levels is going next year. Maybe to my school, maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Very interesting. Okay. So we have one more question for you before we go back to our discussion on our theme. Do you find it challenging communicating with your peers who are into BTS?
BTS, yes. For me, yes, because BTS is not music, it's sound.
Okay.
Very, very specific.
Hate.
Disdain. He has a very specific taste in music.
Okay.
Personally, I feel like in an international school, you don't have as many BTS fans as you would in a local school. But I mean, I don't think they're as passionate about it in an international school. I don't know what that's about. So,
So quite different kind of interest. Wow, you're getting some other questions here, so I'm just going to answer. I'm going to ask you that. Zoe is asking you, what do you think about teenage addiction to gadgets and games?
Oh, I think it's quite bad. I think it doesn't matter what the parents do, in terms of, as in, it's up to the parents to teach them responsibility. And at least the friends that I do know are very responsible with, I guess, the gadgets they have and what they do with it. And they've learned from their cultural influences and their parents, and because of that they are responsible. But it's something that parents need to teach. And because we're the first generation with common gadgets and devices, you could say we are very untrained with how to parent it. But I guess that's the most important.
But Dad always likes to say, use your phone as an educational portal.
Think of it as a learning device.
Yeah, as a learning device. He says it a lot.
But but not only as a learning device. You can play games, but be responsible and do it when you can and when you must.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah, if you want to use it for some relaxation, that's totally fine. But yeah, use it responsibly, and make use of what it can do for you. Like both of you, you're using your devices to help you in your research, to put your word out there, to tell people about your projects. So back to this question, how can parents motivate their children and help them live towards a purposeful life?
What do you think?
I think my parents always ask me, instead of what job do you want to have, they always ask like, what problem do you want to solve?
Yeah.
So like what they always say is, in this exponential change that Dylan talked about, you know, you have to be agile and sort of adaptable to the environment. So what does he always say?
Jack of all trades, master of the field.
Yeah. So instead of asking what job do you want to have, which will keep changing, they ask what problem do you want to solve, because the world will never run out of problems. Yeah.
It will run out of jobs and careers, but not problems.
Yeah. Wow, I love that.
So Kickstarter project is the that we've been doing, kind of trains the idea that in the future, to solve problems, we'll have to assemble a group of people or friends that are very good at different things, and solve stuff in new ways.
And for Daughters of the Revolution, like I always say, Daughters of the Revolution, to what do I say?
What do you say? I don't listen.
No worries.
Empower the next generation of 21st century heroines. So my idea behind that is that all children are born fearless, right? We're born without fear. So I want my generation to be able to hold on to that sort of childishness, because then they can keep asking questions, you know, and also not be scared to be questioned by other people, which is important.
In terms of motivating your kids, the whole idea with exponential change in the first place was that my dad saw how business was evolving, right? And he decided to do something because of that. So a lot of parents tend to raise their kids for the future that they were taught was going to exist. But, you know, I think parents need to make an educated calculation of what the children's future will be, and then raise them according to that. Be it soft skills or not, that's the mindset that parents should have.
There are some parents that project their life onto their children, which isn't good.
Yeah, it's not the same.
That's really a huge point. So really parents should look into, you know, how they think the future is going to be like, and really encourage their children to develop, grow, and pursue the interest that's going to serve the future, serve themselves in the future, and serve others in the future as well. That's what both of you are doing. So on this note, can you please share with us a little bit more about your Kickstarter projects? I'm sure everyone would love to hear more about those.
All right. I go first. Okay. So the One Kind block is basically the world's first modular Lego-like hydroponic system, and it's designed to make cities fertile. And to make cities fertile, you have to make apartments fertile. So that means that the system almost has to adapt to any apartment. Most hydroponic systems are huge and clunky. Your apartment has to adapt to them, or if you're used to growing stuff in soil, maybe you don't like insects, or if you live in a HDB, it clogs up your corridor. So the One Kind block, I have a small prototype here, but it's basically a plug and play system.
Wow.
Right? Attach it together, and you can hang it anywhere in the house. Your walls, your balconies, your corridors, and even your windows.
How do you hang that? How do you hang this? And what is the connection? Does it allow some flow through it, or it's like just a Lego?
This is a prototype that we're testing for water leak, so it's not connected.
Okay.
But we're connected. It's like Lego, right?
Yes, it does look like here.
We'll plug together, and when you fill up one, it will fill up the rest. There's many.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow.
That mechanism allows you to hang it with zip ties that come in the pack, or you could use wall hooks that support 5 kilograms, or if you're hardcore, you could use nails or adhesive or tape. But basically, zip ties or anything will do. Right? And so just imagine your HDB railings, your balconies, your kitchen tables. It looks nice as well, right? When we actually produce it, there will be stickers, and you know, some people who pay a lot for their apartments don't want to sacrifice form for function.
Yes, that's right. Wow,
Uh,
this is really nice.
in the future, we will create a platform for One Kind Block. So the same way that Lego is a toy platform, One Kind Block will be an urban farming platform. So there will be double volume blocks, double length blocks, solar power pump blocks. We are working on a corner block right now. So all of these are exciting.
Very exciting indeed. And I think, yeah, it really shows, during this circuit breaker, a lot of us want to start gardening, but do not have the tools, do not know how to do it. And this is just, it fits very nicely into the current requirements. So someone can actually start growing vegetables in these as well, right?
Yeah, and there's no soil, no insects, no mosquitoes either because it's a sealed system.
Wow.
And works.
Wow. Very interesting. Thank you. And how about you, Ava? We should tell us a little bit more about your DoTR jewelry collection.
Okay, so I kind of talked a bit about like my fashion and like my empowerment sort of story. So when I was like maybe 10, I was sort of thinking about how could I put these two together. But it's a very hard thing to do because like how do you design something to symbolize empowerment? Because empowerment means different things to everyone.
Yeah.
Right? So it started last year, Chinese New Year. I was eating a love letter on my finger, and then I ate it halfway, and I realized that it looked a bit like a ring, right? So I went home and I did my research, and the story behind it is these Peranakan girls would eat their love letter. No, they would hide their love letters in this biscuit and give it to boys, and it also meant that like your words were taken to heart. So I really liked the idea, but instead of giving it to someone else, you would give it to yourself as a way to show that you love yourself and you accept yourself. And like only self-love breeds self-confidence, and that's kind of what you need to change the world, right? And the other thing was also that I wanted to tell women that before you can love someone else, you have to love yourself first. You shouldn't find a Prince Charming to complete you, and you're whole on yourself, not by yourself, whole by yourself.
Yeah.
So from there, I drew inspiration from like the love letter biscuit, the griddles, and then also like the Peranakan culture and the Peranakan jewelry. And I created like a collection of 4. And then now I'm currently expanding into unisex items like bandanas. Because I remember seeing a quote somewhere that said like, how people always say men will be men?
Yeah.
Right? No, men will be whatever you bring them up to be. And you need both sides, right? Yeah. So now I worked on like bandanas. I'm also working on a website, right? I'm working on the packaging, which will be a Russian doll. So the story behind that is because it's Daughters of the Revolution. While not all of us are mothers, we're all daughters, and so that kind of shows the different generations inside each other. Also, like the different layers of yourself, and then in the middle is self-love.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I'm working on so many things at the same time. I'm working on t-shirts. I'm thinking about the next collection when am I going on.
Amazing. Wow. I mean, where do you find time to do all these things? I mean, with school and then your projects. So I think that's also and training as well, because you train really, many times a week at the rink, being a national skater. So I guess that's where one of the questions that Zoe was asking about, how much time do you play gaming, or is it okay to, something about gaming, I think she said.
Yeah.
So I guess this is what takes up most of your time, I suppose. Am I right to say that? Your passion and your projects. It's like a hobby, or more than a hobby. It's amazing. Okay.
Oh, hey, guys, brace yourselves. Hello.
Oh, hi, Calvin. You want to say hi to everyone? You have 2 really amazing kids. Look at all the comments inside.
They are adopted. Yay!
Adopted. Kevin's got a great sense of humor.
Oh, he's not looking.
It's quite scary. Even though I'm supposedly adopted, I can still open his phone with my face.
I can open the phone with my face.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, Zoe also said that you guys have great advice. You show so much maturity. Exactly. Yeah, and Wan Pin says that she's going to ditch her click and grow for your blog, One Kind blog.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. So since your dad came in, actually, is he still there? No, he's gone already.
Oi,
I have no idea where he went.
Dad.
No. I was going to, ask you to say your Father's Day message for him.
To him. Oh, come, please, come. You need to lose weight, huh? Taking up
Yes.
space.
Yes.
So Sunday is a special day for dads. So I was going to ask you, Dylan and Ava, to say a nice message to you. So since you're here, you can hear it live from them.
I want tears. I want tears from both eyes, not one eye. Two eyes crying.
We did prepare everything actually.
That's how you know it's from the heart.
Okay. It's okay. What do you want to say to me?
I think you tried your best. You did a good job. You put some effort in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of that, the marriage is safe.
Okay. In terms of my performance review for the whole of last year, how would you grade my performance review in terms of fathering?
Fathering.
A times A squared.
A times A squared.
A equals A squared.
A times A equals A. That's my math level. Okay, and you? What do you think?
I think
This is my yearly performance review. Actually, it's quite
Wow.
good. If you get the parents to get their kids to give them a performance review.
yeah. And then base their children's salary,
Allowance on
salary on the
on
performance review.
Okay, so how was my performance last year?
I think it was acceptable.
Right.
Right? I think you skip work to hang out with the family, and you skip family to hang out at work. So it kind of balances out.
Balances out, yes. Okay.
We worked on these projects together, and that was also very good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pass.
So the positives,
Yeah,
what are the
positives.
negatives? Of course, you must have negatives, then we can work on those weaknesses.
Too many.
Too many.
Oh,
Don't-
whoops.
Just name one or two, please. One or two that I need to work on.
Okay.
Mm.
I think
you open doors very loudly.
Okay.
And when
Yeah.
you wake people up, it's very annoying.
Okay. So I should take the more gentle approach and
Gentle giant.
gentle giant, wake up. Hi, it's 6 o'clock, time to wake up. Rather than, oi, 6 o'clock, why are you all still in bed? Okay.
I think on days where you need to get up early, you
Mhm.
should stop drinking at night.
Yeah, okay. So no wine on the
Oh
night.
yeah. Like if you don't want guff.
Yeah,
Don't drink
if you
wine.
don't want gout, don't drink wine.
Yeah. It's also bad for us, you suck a lot.
Yeah,
You
your
have
pain
gout.
transfers to us.
Okay. We're hearing you now.
So that's
but,
criticism.
But listening and communication is both ways. So since you had your kids, review you, Calvin, would you like to share what's your assessment on them? Then it's fair, right? It's both ways.
Yeah. I think I'll start with Ava. So I've told her actually this morning when we went for a jog that turned into a walk.
Yeah.
Was that I was very proud of her for what she did on Kickstarter, because for someone at her age, she had to figure out and bring to life her design, down to manufacturing, down to handling suppliers, down to dealing with what are the complexities of the technology that can be done and can't be done. And then prior to launch, dealing with the virus that came in and disrupted everything. So I told her these are things that only adults go through when they finish business university, if ever. And she's already got a head start at such a young age.
Yes.
That was good. Some of the weaknesses she had was some of the things about attention to detail her, her, her posts, especially
Spelling
spelling
errors.
errors.
You use spell checker, right?
Yeah,
I think
and
we are the spell checker.
and she's very organized,
Mm.
but she has to be aware that things don't happen as planned. So you have to be a lot more adaptable along the way.
Yes, it's really real life lessons.
Yeah, it's real good lessons. But I said I was very proud of her, and
Definitely.
she's learned so much, and it's great, you know. And now, if anyone were to have a startup conversation with her, she can participate in it and understand
Truly.
how money is made, how brands are made, how marketing is done.
Hmm. And she's just 13. My goodness. So that's really amazing. Okay, so assessment on Dylan. Oops. Da, 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 da.
Dylan is a bit different from your sister. Your sister's more organized. He's more flighty. Maybe in some ways a bit like me, where we go with the flow, which is he's able to deal with whatever is thrown at him. Like if this suddenly came about last minute and said, "Oh, you have to attend this chat show," he will go, "Okay, what is it about? What do you need me to do and say? What does the person? Who are the people appearing? And what he can wing it
And nail it.
Okay, I give it.
Definitely did.
Okay, and that's also a skill that is very valuable, right? However, the drawback is I told him he cannot go through life assuming that you can wing it all the time. There'll be moments where you have to really put in the hard hours to prepare for it.
Mm.
Okay. So that's in some ways they complement each other, but I can see if both of them work with each other, they will kill each other because the strengths and weaknesses complement each other. It's just the tensions will just not work out.
Mm. Mm.
And I think he's certainly improved a lot more in driving the business that he has forward. So that's good, and taking the initiative. Right now with One Time Block, I don't know whether he talked about it, but there is a potential investor who's
Wonderful.
interested. So I'm taking him through these conversations where I said, if you potentially have an investor and then it becomes a business, then you potentially could be in a role where you're running and learning that level of you're doing a mini MBA already.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'd rather you do
Hands-on.
hands-on, you know, because that's real life already.
Yeah.
People pay a lot of money to study the theory and then go and work somewhere else to figure that out. When you already have a business that's running.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect. I think both of them understand that we embark on a journey. We think there's an end goal, but it may not end there. Like with Dylan, how he ended up with Finland studying wasn't because we planned for him to go to Finland. We planned for him and her to develop differently. So he did his TEDx, his Kickstarters and all, which led him to Finland. And I said, with the one-time block, we don't know where it will lead you as well. But embark on that journey and then see where it goes. You will learn a lot more about yourself. Sometimes it will work out the way you do, but sometimes if it doesn't, they're not stigmatized by failure.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Wow, that's
Just
really
go,
wonderful.
okay, it didn't work out, what did we learn from it? And then we move on. So hopefully that's what you guys will pick up more of over time.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see in the fruits of your labor or your support, your very dedicated support towards them and their passion is really showing in their maturity beyond their age. And, you know, they're really going places ahead of other peers in the same age group. So definitely so much that other parents can learn from, you know, to provide that sort of.
I think what I'm doing is a bit hardcore. I don't expect every parent to do that, but I would leave this question with the parents. The reason I have to maybe tell you the why I'm doing this, and the why I'm doing this is
it about Moore's law and exponential change?
No.
Okay, because I spoke about that already.
Yeah, that's the technical why. But I think the virus has shown that things can change abruptly and quickly, right? Industries will come and go. If I told you last year that in 2 months I can shut down tourism, hotels, airlines, and everything within 2 months, you'll be saying you're crazy. No one can do that. It's happened. it will continue to happen. It will take quite a long time before this picks up again.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So the thing that I would say to parents is, we tend, even my father and my mother used to do it, we tend to take the past, our past, and project it onto them as the future. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we will say, our parents will say, last time I did this, so you also must do this. And that's how.
Yep.
I think that used to work in the industrial age, but we're no longer in the industrial age.
Mm.
So if I did that to them now, my past is nowhere near the future. The future is so far ahead.
Mm.
Already MOE is saying things like we're preparing them for jobs that don't exist yet. That's not our past anymore. So the question I will ask parents is this: do you think we're in the industrial age, or are we now in this new exponential age or industry 4.0, whatever you want to call it? If you say we're in the industrial age, then fine, don't change anything, the system. If we are saying we're in this new age, or I'm not too sure what new age, but I know we're not in this industrial age, then I would say then you have to look at changing things in your own way.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to follow me, but you have to then be more open to new things already.
Mm.
Because if you are 40 plus years old, and if I were to ask the parent and go, do you think your job will exist in 5 to 10 years' time? And the parent says, I'm not sure. Right? That's a scary thought. Because father's time, your job will always exist.
Yes. Yes.
Then replicate it and pass it down to her kids. She will take, if she goes to university, another 10 years. Will that job exist wherever she's studying for?
Mm.
Then why are we preparing 10 years for something that will not be there when she graduates?
Exactly.
That waste of time.
Great.
So those are the questions I ask.
Mm.
Every parent
Very
will
valid question. Yeah, it's such a treat to have you join us and share your insights. I think the moms are wild, parents are wild here. So thank you, Kevin, for your sharing. Actually, I called you or I mentioned you because I saw you and I wanted them to say their Father's Day message to you. I think they haven't said it yet. It ended up as an assessment. So is there?
Yes, it's good enough. It's okay. They for as open as they are, they're also quite private. I think hopefully tonight, when I'm laying in bed sleeping, you all kind of whisper in my ear, go, Dad, Dad. Okay?
Ayah, just go lah.
Wish list. Wish list. Thanks, Gavin. Ava, I see you holding up your jewelry. You want to show us? Like bring it closer to the camera. I'm sure they want to see it.
Because it's a bit like we.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Wow.
So this is the main kind of ring, and you can't really see, but on the inside there are the words like Cinta Dewi, which means love yourself, right? So that's the reminder part. And then I modeled it with like the flower of life pattern. So that's the first piece. Then I have like a necklace, which is like, it literally looks like a love letter.
It does. It's very pretty.
It's magnetic.
Oh, wow.
And then the words again here, but you can't really see.
So you wear it this way? Like this is
you wear it this way with the thing in front.
Wow.
And then the chain is a bit like a Peranakan chain. And then I have a charm. So basically you can hook it onto any sort of necklace, not necklace, but like, yeah, necklace, bracelet, earring, whatever you want. And it's nice. It's just smaller, and I wanted an alternative. And then the last one is an ear cuff. So it's a bit hard to show, but it looks like that. It's
very, very nice.
And then same thing, words inside, and then like you put it on like this.
Really cool. Wow. Wow.
I just put a nice alternative to the normal pierced earring. For those who don't pierce ears.
Yes, it's cool. Thank you for sharing. Wow. Okay. So, well, we have, it was such a, a nice, insightful session with both of you. I will post your links in the comments later on, so that, the rest of the community can also visit your Kickstarter projects.
So, just on that note, Eva is now doing her second run on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
the Kickstarter is finished. My Kickstarter run has finished, but we'll relaunch again in a month's time.
Okay.
like I said, a more complete platform with corner blocks and more stuff.
Yes.
So I think for me, would rather you went to our Facebook page and kept up.
Okay, so which is your Facebook page that you would invite people to visit?
Facebook.com/onekindblog.
One Kind Blog for you. Okay, and for Ava, what's your Facebook page?
It's just DoTR.
DoTR. Okay, we'll get that up in the comments so people can follow and be updated and support you as well. Really awesome job. So thank you, both of you, for taking your time with us. And yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, take good care. So bye, everyone. Okay, I'm going to stop live.